Hey everyone, welcome. So today we are tackling a dessert that is, oh my gosh, it's so worth it. I'm talking about a cheesecake that looks and tastes so good, your friends are going to think you secretly went to pastry school in Paris. But you know what the best part is? We're not touching the oven. Not once. Yeah, you heard me right. A stunning, super creamy, over-the-top Oreo cheesecake and no baking. At all. This is not a drill, people. This is today's recipe, and trust me, it's going to be your new favorite thing. Let's do this.
So, what's the big deal with no-bake anyway? Well, let me tell you, it's a total game changer. It pretty much takes all the usual stress out of making a cheesecake from scratch.
I mean, think about it. You don't have to preheat your oven. You don't have to mess around with a sloshing, risky water bath. And this is the big one. You will have absolutely zero anxiety about that big, ugly crack showing up on top while it cools. You know the one. Nope. This recipe is all about easy steps for a perfect, flawless dessert that just hangs out in your fridge. Okay, it's mission time. Let's go over everything you're going to need to pull this off. And believe me, this is a mission you definitely want to accept. For that crunchy, perfect crust, you just need two things: 24 Oreos and 5 tablespoons of melted butter. That's it. Easy. Now, for that dreamy filling, we've got 500 grams of cream cheese. That's about 2 blocks. And listen, use the full fat stuff. This is not the time for skimping, okay? We're also going to need a cup of cold, heavy whipping cream, some powdered sugar, a little bit of vanilla, and, yep, another 16 Oreos for the filling itself. Wait a minute. Let's do the math. 24 plus 16, that's 40. 40 Oreos total. So yeah, this isn't just a dessert, my friends. It's a commitment. And I'd say it's a pretty delicious one. All right, let's get our hands dirty. We're going to start with the foundation of this whole operation, that perfect, crunchy, couldn't be easier Oreo crust. So first things first, toss this 24 Oreos into a food processor and just blitz them until they look like fine, chocolatey dirt. No food processor? No problem. A zip-top bag and a rolling pin work just as well. It's a great stress reliever too. Then mix in your melted butter until it all feels like wet sand. Now, press that mixture down really firmly into a 9-inch springform pan. Then just slide that into the freezer for about 15 minutes to firm up while we get started on the filling. Okay, crust is chilling. It's time for the main event, the filling. And this right here is where the real magic happens. I've got a couple of tips that are going to make all the difference. Okay, listen up, because this is maybe the most important tip of the whole day. Your cream cheese has to be at room temperature. I'm not kidding. If it's even a little bit cold, you're going to get a lumpy, sad cheesecake filling. And nobody wants a lumpy, sad cheesecake. Just take it out of the fridge an hour or so beforehand, please. Grab your mixer and beat that perfectly softened cream cheese for a couple of minutes until there are absolutely no lumps left. Then go ahead and add in your sifted powdered sugar and the vanilla. You're just going to mix that until it's barely combined. Don't overdo it. And now for secret number 2 for getting that light, fluffy, cloud-like texture. Your heavy cream needs to be cold, like straight out of the back of the fridge cold. The colder it is, the more air you can whip into it, and the lighter your cheesecake will be. So, in a totally separate bowl, whip that cold, heavy cream until you get stiff peaks. You know, when you can lift the beaters and the cream just stands up straight? Now, and this is so important, you are going to gently fold that whipped cream into the cream cheese base. No stirring, no whisking. You want to use a spatula, cut down the middle, and gently lift from the bottom. We worked hard to get all that air in there. Let's not ruin it now. Once that's done, you'll gently fold in your crushed Oreos. We are on the home stretch. I can almost taste it. It is time to bring it all together for the final act before this masterpiece gets its beauty sleep. So go grab that crust from the freezer. It should be nice and solid by now. Pour that unbelievable Oreo-studded filling right on top. Use your spatula to just gently smooth out the top so it's nice and even. Okay, deep breaths. You've done all the hard work. You crushed, you mixed, you folded. You are at the final step, which I'm sorry to say is also the single most difficult part of the entire process. That's right, the hardest part is the wait. Ugh, I know, it's actual torture. But you just have to have a little patience and let the fridge do its thing. Seriously, don't skimp on this. The chill time is everything. You need to cover your cheesecake and let it hang out in the fridge for at least 6 hours. I know, but this is what lets the filling get perfectly firm and lets all those flavors get to know each other. Honestly, overnight is even better, if you can stand it. Okay, the wait is officially over. It's finally time to unveil your work of art and, of course, give it the fabulous finishing touches it absolutely deserves. You're gonna wanna run a thin knife around the edge just to be safe, and then unclip that springform pan. Look at that. It's perfect. And now the really fun part, decorating. You can pipe on some fresh whipped cream, maybe sprinkle over some more crushed Oreos, or you could go totally extra, which, I always support, and hit it with a gorgeous chocolate drizzle. Why not? And there it is, the perfect no-bake Oreo cheesecake. Look, if you make this, and you totally should, please, please tag me in your photos. I seriously want to see them all. Let me know what you think in the comments, and hey, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. So now that you're basically a no-bake cheesecake expert, I have a question for you. What no-bake dessert should we take on next? Let me know your ideas in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.